Hey guys, look, since it's been hard to get everybody together all at the same time for sound training, I decided that I'm gonna start posting some videos on the WhatsApp, so that kind of showing you the things that we're changing and the things that we're doing, so that just watch them and then you'll know exactly how to do the new things and how everything is set up. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so a lot of the changes that I'm going to be doing is going to be in the admin, admin, in the admin account. Okay, so I'll let you see what's going on, and I'll post the admin. I'll give the admin account to everybody who needs it, and then so once we're in, said okay. And one of the things that we did is the first thing you want to do when you come is go to the scenes right here, scenes, and then you'll see that everybody has a profile. So me, John, Christoph, Pito, Luis. Okay, and if we get more people, then we'll have more profiles, and we have space for more profiles. So just for example, if we go here, see there's plenty of space for profiles. So what I do is go to here, hit recall. And that it recalls all my settings. Okay, and so what I want is for everybody to have their own profile. So like that's when the changes that you make will be based on what you hear. So like when you make changes on the board during a service, it'll be in your profile. And for example, like if we make some EQ changes on my voice, go here to there, make some EQ changes on my voice here. So we just kind of move it around, and then whatever changes we make, and then the next, so we'll go back here when we're done with the service. We'll go back here to pick your profile. So click on it, and then click store, and it'll say if you want to override it, and you just hit yes, and like that, whatever changes you make will be stored on your profile and on your scene. Okay, and like that you're going to begin to develop your hearing, your ear. So if one day you do the EQ and you think it sounds good, and the next day you load up your scene and you think something sounds just a little bit off, that's because now your ear is being developed. In other words, you're hearing something now that you didn't hear before. Okay, so that's that. And the other thing that we're gonna start doing, in case just refresh real quick, here we got the three. This is the M is for monitors, B is for band, that's what we hear, the band up there, and A is for audio, that's what goes into the GarageBand, and V is for the video. And just when you come in, just make sure that none of these here are muted on the master. See, on the master, because when for example, audio is muted, you can have audio, the volume can be turned up, but if the master's muted, you're not going to have any signal. Okay, so just some basics. And then the other thing is what I want to show you, something that we changed is here in these buttons over here, they're called soft keys or soft buttons, and we made them mute buttons. Okay, so the way we set them up, I'm going to show you right now, is we go here to setup, and then we go to, let's see if I can remember this. Okay, so we go to control, and then soft keys. So what we did is here, we go to control soft keys, and we put soft 1, right, and we made it a mute group, which means that when you hit this soft key over here, it mutes more than one channel. Okay, so you have different options as far as what it can be, but right now we want it as a mute group. Okay, so boom, and so we set the first 3 as mute groups because we're going to use them as mute groups. Okay, and then to actually set up the mute group is okay. So here we go. So to set up the soft keys, for example, the other day we added, if we go here to channel 20, we added that as the electric that I play on channel 20, and so I wanted to add it to the soft keys, because like if you look right now, if I press the soft key number 1, it mutes all the vocals, okay? And if I turn it off, then when it's blinking, it means it's muting, okay? The whole group. If I turn it off, then it goes back to normal. If I hit soft key number 2, then it mutes all the instruments. See? And what was happening was channel 20, for example, right now, if you see it, channel 20, which is this one over here, is not muting. So we gotta add it to the soft keys, okay? And then if we hit soft key number 3, that's the wireless mics, okay? So to add channel 20 to, or change the routing, so we gotta go to, here we go to routing, and then up here we're gonna go to mute DCA and group assignments, okay? And then here we go to okay, let me show you this again. So mute DCA group assignments, and then we go to here, hit the FN button, which gives it a whole different menu, okay? And now we have this menu. So now we need to go to mute group assignments. And here you see channel 1, or soft key 1, is mute group 1, where it's vocals. So we have channel 1 through 6 turned on as okay. So in other words, when we hit soft key 1, all 6 turn on. Now the soft key 2, we have channel 7 through 19. So the way you add 20 is you just click here. And see how it was out, now it's in, and now it's added, okay? So now, and channel, the group 3, it's just a wireless, and then when we're done, we just hit close here, okay? And now when we go here, hit soft key 2, channel 20 is also muted. See how it's also flashing, okay? So that's how we do that, okay? It's just kind of some basics. And then now that we've done that, I'm going to go to my scene, right? Scenes, mine over here, and I'm gonna store the changes that I made, okay? So hit store, yes, override, okay? So I want you to do it, and then I want you to store it on your profile, on your scene, okay? Sounds pretty simple, right? And so that's about it. Okay, something else that I want to show you quickly is with the compression, okay? So this guy over here, the compression. Because sometimes what happens is you're mixing, let's say, it usually doesn't happen with anything but the wireless. So these guys over here, right? So let's say wireless 1, and you mix it, right? And you have the, let's say you have the volume pretty high already, like close to 0, and you're like, man, like it doesn't sound right, or then you do the EQ and you turn something up and turn something down, and like it just doesn't sound right, but I don't have the volume that I want to have, right? Or let's say it's like it's clipping, where it's like you get the like little red clips here or here or even here, but in the compression, right? And we don't want that. We don't want it to clip, or when it's clipping here, when it gets red here, the red dot. So the way that we fix that is so that we have a good EQ, but also have good volume, is we use compression, okay? And the way that we do it is we go here to the compression menu, and here in the compression menu, if you look, let me show you. If you look, we have different options. We have release, attack, gain, ratio, and threshold, okay? So in other words, threshold, this guy moves, see how it's moving up and down? So it moves this curve. And then the other thing you have is, here is soft knee and hard knee. See how it goes from like a really sharp angle to more of a curve? So that's a soft knee. The curve is a soft knee, and the angle, the sharp angle, is a hard knee, okay? In other words, hard knee is when you want it to pretty much cut off at a certain point. So when you have it hard knee, you can bring it down like that and bring it up, and that's the threshold that we're moving right now. Okay, down and up. Okay, so let's say we want it right here. And I usually for hardening I usually use more for like drums and those kind of things. But when it's vocals or like someone is just screaming like unbearable, so that you cut it off at a certain place and it doesn't override your system. So right here we're gonna put softening, because for most vocals that's gonna be better, okay? And then we just kind of adjust see how we can adjust the angle. So it's gonna be, let's put it right there. And usually when you find it, the gain is on 0. So, but once we compress it, what happens? The volume goes down because we're compressing it. In other words, we're not letting it be as loud as it is coming in, because it's too loud coming in that it's like clipping. It's not, doesn't sound good. It hurts our ears. And so once we compress it, sometimes you find like, okay, I found the right EQ. I like this EQ and I compressed it, but now it's too soft. Like I have to almost put the fader like up here, and I don't want to do that because I don't want to really go much higher than 0. Maybe like, see this little grainy stuff here? You really don't want to go higher than that, because once you go higher than that, you risk overriding the channel, okay? So, and you're like over here, like it's not loud enough. And if I go up here and I let me show you something. If I go up here and change the preamp, that's this little red here, right? That's the initial. That tells the system how much volume you want to have. It's kind of like the white knob on top of the analog. Remember the analog strips where you have like, you had the fader, you had the EQ, and on top you had the white knob. So this over here, the preamp, is the white knob. Okay, only here it's red. Okay, and so you set the gains like, oh, but if I turn up the gain more, then it's just gonna be too loud and it's gonna clip still. And so because also if you have the gain too loud and you have a good EQ and you compress it, but you have the fader really high up, the problem you're gonna run into is it's gonna start feeding back. Okay, because you have the gain wide open. Okay, so what we do is we turn the gain to like a good level, like let's say halfway or a little bit past half. Like if you look at the other ones, they're all around like that like halfway point or a little bit past half. And if you find the volume is still too low, this is how you fix it. Okay, you set your compression the way you want it. So if you want to, and then the ratio here sets the curve. So if you want a straight curve, or if you want it to be more like more cutting, so you set the ratio. So I usually have it, this is for one of the wireless mics, I think it says for wireless mic 1. So here I have it kind of like this, not too crazy. And what I do is once it's compressed and I have a certain angle, I go here to the gain. I hit the gain. Oh, this is what the gain does. It takes the signal in, right, at a certain volume, and then it shoots it back out to the speakers at a higher volume where the board does not get overrun with high signal. In other words, what I'm doing is I'm compressing the signal coming in so that it doesn't destroy my channel, doesn't destroy my board. And then what I'm doing, I add gain so that it's louder when it comes up. See, so when I add the gain, this is what you're gonna see. This bottom line is what's coming in. I'm compressing it, and the top line is what I'm sending back out at a higher volume so that it doesn't sound so low. Now, usually you don't need to give them a lot. Like usually, if you're over here and you give it like 1.5 up like 2, you're not gonna see a ton here. Just like a little bit, like you see like a little bit of a difference in the lines. Let's see how it. So you don't need a lot, but at like 4 or 5 or even 6, like you're upping the volume by quite a bit. And that's how you fix the problem if you have problems with the wireless where either they're feeding back or they're not sounding good or you don't have enough volume. So okay, guys, the other thing that we've added, I don't know if you saw this, is we added a mic. So this is the Talkback mic, and the way that you start the Talkback mic is you just gotta hit the talk over here, okay? And then you see the little T on the bottom there, and then you can talk and only the band will hear it. And then if you hit the button again, the little T will disappear. okay? And the way that we routed that is we got to go here to setup, okay? Setup, not routing, setup, okay? Once we're in setup, then the first one is audio, right? And then from audio we hit Talkback, and in Talkback it tells you what mixes you want it to be in, okay? So right now everything else is off. For example, LR, that means the mains, that's left and right. That's just the main mix that's in the house, okay? And then mix 1 is the M monitors, we want that off. Mix 3 is the audio for recording, and also 5 and 6 is also audio for recording for video. So we want all of that off because we don't want to hear you guys talking in the recordings. So the only place where we want to hear you is in mix 2, which is the band mix, okay? So mix 2 is where I want you. So the way we do it, you just turn on mix 2, and then that's it. And now the Talkback is set up, okay? So, and then the other thing is we have here options, and is this memory latch. Right now it's on. What it means is that when we hit the Talkback, the talk button, that it stays on. Or if you turn this off, then every time that you want to talk, you got to hold the button. The moment that you release the button, it turns off. So you got to just hold the button. That gets annoying. So we go to options, memory latch on, and now close here, and now you could just turn it on, and it stays on for as long as you need to talk, and then just turn it off, okay? So that's how we set that up, and just wanted to show you guys that, so that if anything ever happens, you know how to fix it, how to take care of it, okay? The other thing that I want to show you is how we set up the routing for the because the other day we were gonna use one of the vocal mics. I think it's, let me see which one it is. I think it's channel 6. We're gonna use it as a vocal mic. Right now it's set up as a Talkback. So how do we set this up as a Talkback? Okay, so right now it's set up as a Talkback, and the way we did it is you gotta go here to routing and pick the channel, which is channel 6. Okay, so whichever channel you pick, it'll just change up here. I don't know if you can see it. See? So, and so now we want channel 6 because that's the Talkback mic that we're using. And the way we do it is we gotta we want here post compression. So in other words, if there's compression on the channel, we want it to also compress in when it sends. Okay. In other words, that it doesn't. And also we want it to follow the fader. Okay. So if you turn down here, it will turn on the volume. Okay. Okay. So the way we set it up is we go to here to mix sends. Okay. And in other words, we could technically turn everything off, because when you look at it at first, everything's going to be on like this. Everything's going to be on like that. And that means that that channel is going everywhere. It's going to the house, left and right. It's going to mix 9, 10, 7, 8, 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right? And we said mix 1 is the monitors, mix 2 is the band, mix 3 is the audio recording, and mix 5 and 6 is the video recording. So we don't want the Talkback mic from the stage to be in those signals. Why? Because if we're recording, it's going to sound bad if we're doing a song and all of a sudden Talkback mic is like, hey guys, we're doing this, and you're going to hear it in the recording. So the way we do it is we turn everything off that we don't need. So mix 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the house. So now everything is off except for mix 2, which is the one that we need, which is so that we only hear it in mix 2, only in the band channel. Okay, and that's how we set up the Talkback mic. Okay, just wanted to show you that so that you know how we set it up. Okay, awesome.